All right, well, let me ask you a question that most business owners are completely scared to answer. If you walked away from your business right now for 3 months, no calls, no emails, you just disappeared for 3 months, would it grow? Would it stay the same, or would it fall apart? Now, if you would say it would completely fall apart, then guess what? You don't have a business, you just have a job, and a really expensive, really demanding job that just happens to pay pretty good, right? And you can't sell a job. No one wants to write $1 million check for your exhaustion. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're gonna understand exactly how the people who actually exit for millions think different than everyone else. So let's start with exactly where you are. There's 5 levels. Level 1, you do the work, you sell the work, like, right? You do everything. Everything runs through you. Level 2, you sell, but other people do the work. Level 3, others sell, others do, and now you're just the architect instead of the engine. And level 4, systems replace personalities and everything is documented. And finally, level 5, leadership runs the entire company without the founder. So only level 5 sells for a premium. Everything underneath it is just a job wearing a nicer outfit. So it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you could actually sell for. So the real question isn't how much money you make, it's what level are you on right now? And then we're gonna take you from, if you're at level 2, we'll take you to level 3. If you're at level 3, we'll take you to level 4. But one of the biggest mistakes I see owners make on the way up, and it's gonna sound like you're gonna take a step backwards, they spend too much time and money on operations and not enough on marketing. I know for me, at one point, we had 6 full-time web developers on staff, and I was obsessed. I was in this phase and I was like, okay, we're gonna automate everything. And I had a leadership team that just wanted to keep hiring more people for systems and processes, and we kept cutting back on advertising, and it really cost us our growth. And so here's a phase I want you to burn into your brain right now, okay? There's a phrase I say all the time, and it says, have you ever been to the place called Moe's? You know how they say, welcome to Moe's? What I want you to think about when you're thinking about welcome to Moe's, I want you to think marketing over everything, because marketing creates the opportunities. Marketing is what you need. It drives revenue. You need the leads. Operations matter, but operations support growth. They don't create it. And so businesses that scale fast are the ones that invest in marketing every single week as a non-negotiable. And the crazy thing is, when things slow down, you want to know what people do? They keep spending money on operations and then they cut back on their marketing. It's like, no. Every time you catch yourself spending money on something that feels productive, but it isn't actually bringing in customers, remember, welcome to Moe's, right? So you're climbing levels, but you've got to put marketing first. That's how you build a company that runs without you. Here's the rule. If something gets done more than twice, it becomes a system, and you document the process, and it's never been easier. You literally go on Zoom, record the process, throw it into any AI platform, and it will actually create a full manual for you. That will create consistency. Consistency creates scalability, and scalability creates value, so you can sell the business for more. Buyers do not want to purchase a business that lives inside your head. They want a machine that keeps running whether you are there or not. The second thing is that people and roles. Businesses are built around people, and guess what? If you are the one doing all the hats, that's not good. You have to get, every role gets 3 to 5 core responsibilities and a number that they have to hit, that they're held accountable for. Because if nobody owns the number, then the number doesn't get hit. And if 2 people are responsible, then nobody is responsible. The next one is a weekly rhythm. Every week we have a scoreboard where we celebrate wins, we solve problems, and we leave with clear commitments, right? We have something called the Scale CEO Scoreboard. We give it to you completely for free. You can customize it for your own company. And I want you to know that another thing we do is something called commitments, okay? So every single week we have everyone in the company make commitments, and a tennis coach taught me something, that when you're playing tennis, you should be winning 2 out of every 3 games. you should be playing, and you should be winning 2 out of every 3 tennis games that you're playing, right? Because if you are winning all 3 games, out of 3 games, you're winning all 3, then guess what? The competition is too easy. You need to level up. If you only win 1 and you're just getting crushed, then guess what? Now your self-esteem is bad. So the sweet spot is, he said, you've got to win 2 out of every 3 games. Well, guess what? We run our team the same way. We want to have we want them to have 3 goals every single week, and they should be getting winning 2 or 3 out of every 3 each week. Because if they are hitting all 3 every single time, that means their goals aren't big enough. If they're challenged, we want them to be challenged but not crushed, right? So growing but not overwhelmed. So that's exactly what you want. You want to get your people on a schedule where they're hitting this scoreboard and making commitments every single week. Let's say you had 2 businesses. One business was making $2 million a year in random project-based revenue, where another one was getting $1 million a year, but they had every bit of it was recurring contracted revenue. Guess what? The $1 million company that has recurring revenue is going to be worth more money than the $2 million one. Now, why? It's not my opinion, it's math. Buyers will pay higher multiples for predictable cash flow because predictability kills risk, and lower risk justifies what? A bigger paycheck. So you want to stop chasing one-time sales every single month to survive. You want to come up with a recurring revenue model with subscriptions, with contracts, money that just shows up whether you do or not. So that is where we can take your business to the next level. All right, I'm gonna say something to blow your mind. A business that makes money keeps you employed. An asset that generates value makes you wealthy. Employment ends the second you stop working. That's not good. Real wealth compounds while you're sleeping. So here's your final question. The one thing that stings the most, the one thing that actually matters. Are you building a business or are you building a job? And I want to teach you how to stop owning a business and actually own an asset. So let's dive in.